Here's a strange fact. The average person unlocks their phone 96 times every day. That's once every 10 minutes, every waking hour. And yet somehow life feels less exciting than ever. How is that possible? How can a world overflowing with entertainment, information, and convenience make so many people feel bored? What if the reason nothing feels exciting anymore isn't because life became boring? What if it's because you've forgotten how to experience it? Because your brain was never designed for unlimited novelty, and the very things you're using to escape boredom may be creating it. Today we're going to explore why everything feels boring now, what neuroscience has discovered about it, why Stoics, Buddhists, and ancient Indian philosophers warned about it centuries ago, and most importantly, how to reclaim your sense of aliveness. I'll also share a practical framework you can start using today, because this isn't really a story about boredom, it's a story about attention. For most of human history, novelty arrived occasionally. Today, it's everywhere. Millions of videos, endless music, unlimited information, instant connection. Yet anxiety, burnout, and emotional numbness continue to rise. How can a world overflowing with stimulation create people who feel emotionally flat? The answer begins with a brain chemical that is widely misunderstood. Most people think dopamine is the happiness chemical. It isn't. Neuroscientist Kent Berridge found that dopamine is less about pleasure and more about pursuit. It makes you want, not necessarily enjoy. Every notification, video, and unexpected message creates anticipation. And anticipation feels exciting. But over time, the baseline moves. What once felt exciting becomes normal. What once felt normal begins to feel boring. Psychologists call this reward adaptation. You call it, why doesn't anything excite me anymore? Psychologist Sonia Lubomirsky's research on hedonic adaptation shows that humans rapidly adjust to positive experiences. The promotion becomes normal, the new phone becomes ordinary, the dream purchase becomes just another possession. The modern world keeps increasing stimulation, but your brain keeps adjusting upward. And eventually you arrive at a strange destination, surrounded by abundance, feeling nothing. A few years ago, I noticed something strange. I could spend an hour scrolling through videos, watching, swiping, consuming. Yet when I put my phone down, I couldn't remember most of what I had just watched. Nothing stayed with me. Nothing felt meaningful. Nothing felt satisfying. I wasn't entertained. I was exhausted. And maybe you've experienced something similar. Not because life is empty, but because constant stimulation leaves no room for experience. And that's when I realized something important. The most dangerous thing about overstimulation isn't that it distracts you, it's that it makes meaningful experiences feel ordinary. But the deeper problem isn't dopamine, it's attention. Research by Gloria Mark shows that modern attention is increasingly fragmented by interruptions and constant task switching. Many people can't sit quietly for 2 minutes without reaching for stimulation. That's not a character flaw, it's conditioning. Every interruption trains your brain to expect more stimulation. Eventually, silence itself becomes uncomfortable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The quality of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Today, we might say, the quality of your life depends upon the quality of your attention, because wherever your attention goes, your experience of life follows. Sometimes boredom isn't boredom at all. Sometimes it's burnout wearing a disguise. Psychiatrist Anna Lemke explains that excessive stimulation pushes the brain into a dopamine deficit state. The result? Life feels flatter, less exciting, less rewarding. You lose interest in things you once loved. Motivation weakens, and because nobody taught us this, we assume, I must be lazy. When often the truth is, you're overstimulated, overloaded, and under-recovered. What's fascinating is that ancient wisdom noticed this long before neuroscience. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort to recalibrate appreciation. Seneca warned that abundance destroys gratitude. Buddhist teachings describe tanha, the endless craving for the next reward. The Buddha observed that a mind trapped in constant wanting can never fully experience the present. And in the Bhagavad Gita, we find the same insight. Attachment to outcomes creates inner disturbance. Different cultures, different centuries. Same truth. A mind constantly pulled outward eventually loses contact with itself. Imagine two versions of yourself. The first continues exactly as they are now. Every spare moment filled with notifications, scrolling, videos, noise, constant stimulation. 5 years pass. Their attention becomes weaker. Their focus becomes fragmented. Meaningful experiences feel increasingly ordinary. Life becomes something they consume rather than something they live. Now imagine a second version. This person begins reclaiming small pockets of silence, small moments of presence, small moments of awareness. Nothing dramatic, just tiny daily acts of attention. 5 years later, they haven't escaped modern life, but they've recovered something many people lose: the ability to fully experience what is already here. And that changes everything. If this is resonating with you, subscribe to Digital Mind Mentor, because understanding your mind is only the first step. Learning how to reclaim it is the journey. Now let's talk about how to begin. The Attention Reset Protocol. Step 1, create space. Spend 30 minutes each day without screens, music, podcasts, or entertainment. Allow your brain to exist without constant input. At first it feels uncomfortable. That's normal. You're creating space for your reward system to reset. Step 2, break the loop. The next time you reach for your phone, pause for 5 seconds. Ask yourself, what am I looking for right now? Not judgment, not guilt, just awareness. That simple question interrupts unconscious behavior. Step 3, reintroduce contrast. Borrow from the Stoics. Take a cold shower. Walk instead of driving. Skip a convenience occasionally. Without contrast, abundance becomes invisible. Contrast restores appreciation. Step 4, train attention. Spend 10 minutes each day doing one thing without multitasking. Read, walk, observe, meditate. Attention is a muscle. The more you train it, the richer life becomes. Step 5, reclaim presence. Stop evaluating everything by outcomes. Read because reading is enjoyable. Exercise because movement feels good. Create because creating matters. The happiest people aren't always chasing rewards. They're fully engaged in the process itself. A neuroscientist, a Roman emperor, a Buddhist monk, a Sanskrit text written thousands of years ago. Different voices, same conclusion. The human mind was never designed to consume infinity. The world did not become boring. You became overstimulated. And that's good news, because it means the solution begins the moment you reclaim your attention. For most of history, humanity's greatest challenge was scarcity. Today, it may be excess, too much information, too much stimulation, too much noise competing for the same fragile human attention. And perhaps the deepest form of freedom in the modern world is no longer finding something more exciting. Perhaps it is recovering the ability to fully experience what is already here. Because when attention returns, wonder returns, meaning returns, life returns, and you discover something surprising. Life was never as boring as it seemed. You were simply too distracted to experience it. In a world designed to capture your attention, learning how to reclaim your mind may be one of the most important skills of the 21st century. If that journey interests you, subscribe. Every week, we explore where modern psychology, neuroscience, Stoicism, Buddhism, and ancient Indian wisdom converge to explain the hidden patterns of modern life. Because understanding yourself is only the beginning. Learning how to reclaim your mind is the journey.